I am Quentin Patterson. I am 5'7", and I am competing at 182, so Class B. I am currently 193.5.
Okay, you're getting ready for junior nationals, right?
That's correct. Junior Nationals on June 19.
Awesome, man. Go ahead and let's talk about, get out of the way of the workout, the movements you did and what you liked about the movements, man.
So we did chest and shoulders, and I really, really love the routines of just anything upper chest based is, man, I've fallen in love with it because it creates such a dynamic for that chest, and it always gets it to pop. So I really enjoyed doing incline press. Those are really good. One thing that you actually observed was one of my breathing techniques that basically when I get tired and I'm at the end of my rep, so usually I get one short of failure, and what I'll do is I'll calm my brain down, I'll hold everything with my stabilizer still in the proper position, and then I'll gauge how far I can press it to keep a perfect rep and to keep it all in that muscle. It's probably one of my favorite techniques, and I've mastered it over time, and it just feels amazing, and it just puts so much pressure into that chest and gets it to grow with the right proportions. So shoulder laterals, I love my laterals. They help me so much just in terms of development overall, and I really like to make sure that I get a nice squeeze out of all of the movement and really control it, no matter how much weight in my hand. Usually it's lighter. In my off season it's a little heavier, but I really like the control aspect because, as you can see, when I'm going down in my negatives, you can see the control that's taking place. So it's always one of my favorite movements, and I include laterals in most of my shoulder days as well.
Now with that, your pause kind of with that movement, you do that on all your movements too. That's not
everything.
Just incline, yeah.
I mean, literally everything, because the biggest thing about me is the artistry of everything. So being able to understand that if I am going to be this figure that people are going to look at on stage, then, to rush my art is like being an artist and using a blunt brush to paint your big canvas all of a sudden when it's supposed to be a fine-tuned art. So being able to use a small brush versus a big brush is what we like to use in order to just keep that symmetry going, keep my posing going. I see my poses in almost everything that I do movement wise, so being able to keep that technique is just so important to me because it doesn't take away from the masterpiece and it doesn't hurt my joints.
Yeah, and like you said, it definitely focuses in on the actual area.
Yes.
As opposed to like having something compensate or something like that.
Yeah, I don't need a blown out shoulder.
So are you excited? We'll just tell people. I know you're going to be guest posing next week and stuff.
Oh, yes. I'm okay. So I'm over the top excited because as a artist, opposing artist, being able to do just a minute, it just feels so. It's like being trapped in a corner and you can't really do that much. Being able to guest pose to me is the world because I'm gonna be able to showcase my true ability. I do a lot of freestyle and posing and making things up on the spot, but I rarely record my choreographed stuff and put it on the internet. So it's gonna give me a chance to just show people what you can really do when you put your mind to it and be able to put on a true performance, and not one of those performances where it's like rushed and thrown together, but one that took time, effort, and just it makes me smile like a kid at Christmas. So I'm looking forward to doing the Grand Rapids and just being able to showcase my physique and what's to come in 2 weeks after in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
That's awesome, man. And speaking of the posing business and stuff, so I know you've worked with, let's talk about 3 pros you've been working with lately. I know you've worked with a friend of mine, Zeke, and stuff. How's the posing business been there?
Honestly, it's going really well. I'm getting more and more IFBB pros who are recognizing me, and it's really cool just to be able to have these people recognize my skill and my ability, but more so even my coaching ability. So being able to say, hey, I heard from such and such about you, and and I really want to bring something that's different, and just different is what I hear a lot from a lot of pros. So it's cool that they are trusting in me to be able to handle their process and make their routines. And like I got Brett Wilkins and just various other pros who are stepping up and being like, hey, show me something different. And so I'm trying to help them understand how to enhance what they have, and it's just a really good opportunity for me, and I look forward to working with the other pros in the future that will come to me.
That's awesome, man. And like I said, you as opposed to some people where you're designing it tailored to them, not to just like a standard, like this is how you get a side chest. You're designing it around the person. So that's what, you know.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if I'm posing them how I would pose my body, then truly you're not learning. And I think that what's fatal for a lot of people when they go to coaches is they tend to get this thing where it's like, well, this worked good for me, but I want to help them understand how to lock in certain features in their body so that they're able to just be hype about what they see in the mirror, but what they can bring and prove to people when they showcase their absolute physique. You don't work that hard to look like somebody else. You work that hard to be designed for your case. So I want to help them shine beyond belief so they're able to show off their features in the right context with the right amount of muscle, with the right conditioning. Well, well, right now, I had a high day yesterday, so I got a little more energy than most days. But so I guess it's perfect for the shoot. But previous to that, not really a lot of carbs. So realistically, about 60 grams of carbs. Chicken is my main source of protein. No more than 6 ounces. Light veggies. But I mean, in egg whites, but realistically, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's what you would expect for, you know, a bodybuilder during this time. So cardio is around 40 minutes, you know, fasted, and then 40 minutes after workouts. And that's pretty much what I got going on. But the recipe's working, and we have a brilliant design for what's coming up next in the next 4 weeks.
Awesome, man. People you like to thank, family, friends, fiancé,
Honestly, I would like to thank my fiance because she's amazing, and my mom, my dad, my grandmother, the Hoffman family, just people who've really integrated into my life and who have helped me even put on my own brand. Which, if you don't mind, can I talk about that real fast? So, my biggest thing is this is my Dreaded Disaster brand. It's a play on my nickname. It's actually being released at the Grand Rapids show. Which is really big to me because I grew up in a very broken world as a kid coming up. And so for me to have my own things almost brings me to the point of tears because I never mentally digested soulfully that I would have something that would help and affect people in such a positive way. So being able to have a brand that represents how people dread their disasters and that's why they're not successful, being able to help people embrace the essence of why they could dread their disaster and find treasure and positivity on the other side is what my brand is about. So being able to just collaborate with the minds of people and just letting them explore who they are in self-love and just not doubt but just go full throttle ahead is what my brand's going to help promote and do. And so it just brings me great joy to be able to do it and customize my own stuff how I want and to be able to have high quality and comfortable and stuff. So
do you have a website for you?
it's actually coming at the end of the month, so I'm super excited. I have gyms that are selling my product, Fitness 19 on Leonard and Fuller, as well as City Gym, and then I'll have my own website that will promote it, and I'll have that out as well, so I'll give you the link. I appreciate you.